On this video, I'm going to be talking about networking, the ugly truth about networking. Now, for the longest time, I thought that this was something that I needed to do in order to, let's say, get closer to my goals, get close to the people that I wanted to associate with, learn from, etc. And I do want to make a point that this is true to a certain extent, but there's nuance to this point. I've approached networking in many different ways. I've paid for access to people, whether it's been through calls or meetings, one-on-one, or mentorship and coaching. I've paid to join networking groups to be able to attend events, gatherings, etc., where multiple people join to discuss business or a common topic, let's say. This is something that takes up a lot of time. And something that I found, that I realized as I participated in enough of these events, is that networking is extremely beneficial, but it depends where you are, at what stage you are in. If you are not close at all to your goals or where you want to be, or let's say you're starting just from the bottom, you have no idea about business, no clue whatsoever, no value to provide whatsoever, but you have access to money, then sure, you can pay your way to participate and join these circles, and you'll be exposed to the people that are already in those clubs, let's say. And sure, you'll probably get some benefit on the short term, but on the long term, I've noticed that the majority of people, or at least the people that are most respected or established in those groups, unless you give them very specific value in an area that they lack or that they deem to be important in their life, they're typically not going to want to associate or invest a lot of time into someone who is significantly below where they are. Another thing that I found is that these events all take up a lot of time, right? So if you're someone who is eager to improve, eager to learn, that's good, right? I'm not completely dismissing networking, but you can't sacrifice your goals or the time you have to work towards your goals for the networking, if that makes sense. If you are, let's say, going to weekly meetups, and the weekly meetups are 3-4 hours long, and you're participating, which is good, you're showing face, you're getting your name out there, people are meeting you, they know who you are. That's fine, right? But I found that over a long enough time horizon, the top of the top people, or the people that are worth networking with, unless you are progressing or are someone else who's worth networking with, they're not going to associate with you. So I've learned that, and I learned this very recently actually, that it is better to, at a certain point, take a step back, sacrifice a little bit of the time that you might be investing into attending some of these events. And I'm mostly speaking from experience because I've formed or joined different groups at this point, and there's some that have weekly recurring meetings, and it's one that I've been really invested in and I've joined and participated a lot in, but it takes up a significant amount of time. And I've realized that most networking groups are not an education-based organization, meaning the point of the networking group is not to teach the low tier of people in the group, right? The point is to facilitate connections between the high members, the highest ranking members of the group or the people that join the group. So with that said, the approach that I've found that actually makes the most sense and will actually get you to the results of connecting with people who are worth connecting with is to focus on yourself, focus on your goals, focus on achieving your goals so that you become someone who is worth networking with. That way, you don't have to spend all that energy and all that time trying to convince someone that you are valuable when you can just become valuable and have them come to you. That's really the best way to go about it, I found, because it's like sales, right? If you have to convince someone that what you're offering is valuable, there's an implicit dynamic going on when you're assuming like a lower position compared to the other person. And there's times in life where you are going to have to do that. I'm not speaking in absolutes, but for the majority of people, and this has also been my experience, it is best to just focus on becoming someone who is respected, who is valuable, who is established, who actually has value to provide. And naturally, you will draw attention and interest from people who want to connect with you. That is really what I found the best way to go about it. If I could just point something to my past self on what to focus on when it comes to trying to find the best mentor or the best course or the best group to join, etc., is to keep that in mind, that you have to be aware of your own value, and it's very, very important to guard the time that you have to work on yourself and improve and become valuable, so that when you actually participate or join a group, a discussion, a meeting, a one-on-one interaction, etc., you're actually someone who causes an impression and that the other party is going to want to associate and maintain an association with. That's why all these famous people all know each other, all relate to each other, because they're already people worth knowing or people worth connecting with. They don't have to work their way up. And sometimes you do, but oftentimes it's best to do the work up front, become a somebody first, and naturally you will attract the attention of other somebodies, if that makes sense. Anyways, that's the video I wanted to share for tonight. As always, I want to thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please do leave any comments you have on the topic below. This is something that I wanted to share because I've dealt with this just recently, and I thought, it'd be a good opportunity to share it with you all. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Comments down below, and we'll catch you on the next one.